Good morning. I'm Stefania Trabucchi from Abstract Technology, open edX service provider in Europe. And we are here at the Boston Open edX Conference 2023. I'm very happy to have the possibility to interview Anastasiia, another service provider located in the Ukraine. And I would like to introduce yourself to our community, exactly. Please, Anastasiia.
So my name is Anastasiia, and I have been working with e-learning solutions for the past 5 years, and I was deeply involved in the development process. I managed lots of projects, huge universities, non-profit, whatever. And yes, I was growing up with e-learning solutions, to be honest. And yes, I'm so happy to be here to share my experience.
Yeah, and you will probably have also a talk tomorrow.
Yes.
I heard about it. And would you like to tell how your client are using Open edX?
Yeah. So, for example, how I started working with the huge universities in US, and due to the COVID, they need to scale up the services, right? And they need to move all campuses online. Not all, but we had some parts. So we did the transition to Kubernetes to provide the scalability of Open edX. I also worked with some government and I exchanged the ideas with the different governmental projects who used to work with Moodle, and we found out Moodle is not that scalable. So one of the advantages of Open edX that can be scalable and you don't need to pay per seats. And also a few years ago I had a project for 5 African countries because that was leading by the UNESCO. UNESCO has a mission to learning never stop. So I was also involved in that initiatives, and the last and very excited, I worked with the government of Ukraine, and we did a scalable. We did a transition from paperwork to computer online assessment for all school graduates in Ukraine. During the war, we managed this, and this is one of the key items and challenges I have faced with my clients together.
Well, excellent. Good stories, good clients. It sounds like scalability is a key in your company. Is it correct?
Yes, kind of bit, but it's
and
not.
In Open edX, let's say.
Yeah, maybe it's just my experience, but I was for the past 4 years I was focused on that. Yeah, what also Open-ended, like Raccoon gang is experience, right? So it's working with government. We for example, for the African countries, we did an offline mode, right? So because due to the low internet connection, we have to provide service mobile applications, and the learners can get the content without internet. So this was also one of the focuses.
May I ask maybe what could our community interest or newcomers in the Open edX community? What can you explain what your client like most in the solution using Open edX?
Okay. Yeah. So, for example, what my client like most? First, Open edX is quite user-friendly. So, to be honest, this is one of the key benefits. Open edX is an open source. Open edX can be scalable. And it's easy to get the content, right? It's easy to teach your instructors how to work with Open edX. I've heard that some of the developers say that the documentation set of Open edX is not that high, but as far as I'm working with the Open edX already for the past 4 years, I think that it's pretty robust documentation set. I'm not a developer, I'm a manager, but I also help and support my clients and working with them per each request, right? Yeah, so this is my understanding.
Yeah, I mean, what you mentioned is really excellent. The scalability, easy to use, easy to create content, security. Maybe we can add about Open edX, huge project. So
we also fix some kind of security issues for one of the biggest organization in Saudi Arabia, and yeah, I can pretty say it's still something this can be improved due to the security, but Open edX is pretty flexible, and you can adjust it per your needs. If you're a startup, if you're government, yeah, so my speech will be regarding the government and mass learning and mass certification program testing in the world, and but I can say that you can use for startups, right? If you're just starting, because I have clients from small to the biggest, and I can see how many of business areas are using the Open edX.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming. We wish you an excellent presentation tomorrow, an excellent session, and we hope to see you here next year again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming.